You know what really pisses me off? Unnecessary questions. I get a lot of those. I get those on lives. I get those here on the podcast, on the YouTube channel. Get them here from my Crucible students. This is in my entire notebook here. Every student that's attended the Crucible, these are my notes from the debrief sessions that we've had. And as I go through them, I see the ones that ended up just absolutely crushing it after attending the Crucible. There's no unnecessary questions. They're just really good listeners, and then they went and took action. The ones where there's a lot of questions, there's a common trait here. No success. Ask questions like, hey, isn't wholesaling going to be illegal in Oklahoma in November? The fuck do you care about that? You have a contract in Oklahoma and it's August. Why the fuck are you asking that question? Shouldn't you be trying to dispo this so you can make money? I get questions asked to me about what system we use. What about the cost of using Plevo or Twilio, Batch? These, to me, are all unnecessary questions. These all lead to, what is your excuse going to be when you finally decide that you're not going to succeed? You have to have an excuse. That's why I think you're actually asking the questions. I very rarely think that someone asks a question that is not going to directly impact their business on a day-to-day basis, think that they're going to succeed, and that's why they're asking these questions. I think it's because they want to fail. They don't actually want to succeed. That's what I've come to grips with. I'll use three people as an example. Sam Butta, Alejandro Hernandez, and Christian Hernandez. Not related, by the way. Those three people attended the Crucible. And the thing about the Crucible is that we really don't ask, will you please market this way? Will you please use this system? We say, we want you to use batch leads. We want you to pull your list this way. We want you to name your campaigns this way. We want you to use these text templates. We want you to use these quick replies. Once they have answered these questions, this is how you're going to make your offer. This is the contract that you're going to use. This is how you're going to export your data, import it into Batch Dialer. This is the script that you're going to use. You're not going to cold call. VAs are going to cold call from Andrea Stake's company, Integria. And this is how you're going to close deals. We don't ask. We just tell you. Now, some people come and look, they have free choice. It's not like I'm now their boss. They can do whatever the hell they want. Some of them do. Some of them don't succeed. Some of them come and they just listen. They consume all that information. They leave and they see results immediately. Christian Hernandez came in here, listened to everything that we said, and walked out. And I'm not going to share his personal business, but he's made really good money in the past 30 days. Sam Butta, same thing. Alejandro has every reason, every excuse in the world. He has every excuse plus a story. He can only work 2 hours a day due to personal reasons. Yet somehow he's gone out and done more deals than some people that have all the time in the world. He runs a contracting business. Someone else attended the Crucible and they have to work their contracting business. I don't think they've sent out one text message since attending. Alejandro didn't let those unnecessary circumstances define his reality. He created his own reality, and that's what we preach here, right? As you can tell, this is really something that I truly believe and live by, right? Because these are titles of previous episodes here. Excuse plus a story. Create your own reality. Well, this episode is I'm Too Angry for a Podcast Title. I'm really fucking sick and tired of dealing with people's unnecessary questions. Whoever came up with the phrase, there's no such thing as a stupid question, was the dumbest motherfucker that ever existed. Okay? Because there are really fucking stupid questions, and I get a lot of them asked to me all the time. Here's the reality. I don't ask unnecessary questions. I go out and I take action. And I fuck up, and I screw up, and we fail. And that's okay, because we learn that way. I would much rather learn through experience, through going out and learning throughout the process, so I don't have to rely on somebody else to give me their opinion. Because what I've learned is that this world is chock full of fucking morons, and I don't want them to tell me what they think they know. I would rather go out and experience myself and come up with my own conclusion on what I should be doing as a business owner for my business. That's why we preach create your own reality. Do I want you to do things the way that I teach you to do them? Absolutely. Why? Because it's a proven concept. That's the point in having a mentor. I've had mentors. I just got done spending 4 days with one of mine, Jesse Burrell. He's a great friend and a great mentor, and I listen to him, and I respect things that he says. But I listen to what he says. Okay? I listen. I don't sit there and ask him 1,000,001 questions. I listen to how he's running Batch, how he's taken it from ground zero in 2018 to be a groundbreaking industry-leading company in 2021. What are the steps that he took to get there? And you say, well, RJ, if you don't ever ask any questions, how are you going to learn that? Just by being around him, experiencing how he carries himself through all things. Even if it's just watching in a webinar or a podcast, whatever it is, you can see him and who he is as a person. Listen to the things that he says. That's why you're listening to this podcast this long. If I haven't hurt your feelings yet and you've made it this far, congratulations. But you're listening for a reason, right? You want to better yourself. And so for whatever reason, my message resonates with you. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that one of the things that has led to where I am today is not by stopping myself and asking 1,000,000 questions. It has by listening to people that are out there freely giving advice and then immediately implementing it into my business and my personal life. Not stopping and asking questions and making sure that it's a good fit for me, because that's what I mean by you're just looking for the excuse as to why it's not going to work for you. That's why people sit here and say, I can't attend the Crucible because you want me to spend this much on data. You want me to spend this much on batch leads. You want me to do this. You want me to do that. Of course I do. That's what I do. I do it with no fear either. Just on Saturday alone, I pulled and skip traced 60,000 records for my team for this week. Just for this week. While I was doing it, could I have stopped and said, this is a lot of data. This is a lot of investment into this week, because normally it's happening throughout the week, right? That would be making a fear-based decision on, I don't know if I want to do this. No, we know it works. It works over and over and over again. I'm not going to make that fear-based decision. When I want to implement something new in my business and I've made the decision, it's because I've seen it somewhere else. I've seen the results and I know that it can work. And that's why I'm making the decision to now implement that into my business. I'm not going to stop myself by asking 500 questions. Now, you might be sitting there saying, I guess RJ's message today is don't ask any questions. And that's not necessarily the case. The case that I'm trying to make today is is if you are stopping, if you are really honest with yourself, there are times where you are stopping yourself from taking action so you can ask questions. So you can sit there and try to find the reason to not do something. That is what I want you to eliminate from who you are as a person. You have to find a way to set aside the fear and the emotion that you have of succeeding and say, I know it works. I've made a decision that I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to go out and ask those 500 questions to try to find a reason to not do it. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to take the action. And even if we fail, that's okay, because that's where you're going to become an expert. You're going to learn how to truly become the business owner that you want to be, whether that's you're rehabbing, flipping, wholesaling, whatever it is. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I learn a lot more when I go out and I do something wrong than I do from somebody sitting behind a microphone or face-to-face meeting and them telling me something. That only goes so far. At some point in time, you have to go jump off the cliff and take that action. So, if you felt like this message was for you, it was. Especially to the Titans who have attended the Crucible. Some of those, I use specific examples because I was sitting here reading my debrief notes right here. I hope you listen to this. I hope you still watch my videos. Maybe not, because I've hurt your feelings too much, and that's okay. You paid me because you wanted the raw, authentic honesty that I give you. So that's what I'm telling you today. Avoid the dumbass questions. Go take the action. Please. That's all I ask from you. See you guys next week.